Welcome to episode 1560 of the Multifamily Collective. Tonight I wanted to talk about the sort of the gamut of emotions that one goes through when you release something into the world. We released the Daily Collective into the world. I think the actual publishing date was October the 23rd, but it took a couple of days to actually get it out onto Amazon. And it's interesting. I've had this whole roll of emotions circulating throughout my mind and my body and my heart, my soul. In that, when you put something out into the world, whether it be a simple Twitter post or LinkedIn post or any social media platform, when you put yourself out there, sort of in a micro, it doesn't seem as intimidating. And I think that is a back of the hundreds, if not thousands or tens of thousands of reps over the last 20 years, putting oneself out in the social media world. And some of those things land, some of those things don't land. You from time to time get somebody that critiques what you say, and that's okay. But I'm speaking for myself now, to put out what is in essence 366 pages of a little more macro thought, still micro, but macro, in things that you've collected over the years, be it quotes or statements or, something I pulled out of a magazine article or a book. It doesn't matter where the source was. There's lots of sources, and then you riff on that. So in essence, you have a quote on every single page of the book, and then it's a riff on the quote. And when you put that out into the world, it's really it's a lot more intimidating than I imagined. And I think I have a fair amount of confidence as a person, as an individual. But just being vulnerable, it's borderline scary putting yourself out there like that. And it gives me a lot more appreciation for people who author books or people who write songs or put themselves out there in a bigger way than is tradition. Just the one-off post here and there. Even if you post every day on social media, it's so micro in nature, and the news cycle is so fast that it's here today, it's gone tomorrow. And people may or may not remember it. Maybe they do remember a big catalog of work that you've done over a long bit of time. But this feels different. It's different than I had ever imagined. So anyway, books out there now, can't take it back. It's the Daily Collective. It's 366 meditations on life. I really appreciate there are a lot of people that have influenced me over the years, and I tried to capture all of them in the acknowledgments in the book. And I'm quite certain that I left some people out. But the cool thing about self-publishing and putting something out on Amazon is that you can revise over time. But anyway, I do definitely want to thank everybody. My big punchline for today is imposter syndrome is real. It's something that I think that any kind of creative or somebody that desires to put something out into the world and or work hard and become promoted and get the opportunity to be promoted and given more responsibility, it is a real thing to feel like you are not prepared for that kind of thing, not prepared for that that increased responsibility, that increased exposure. But I am going to try to lean into the lessons. There is a chapter in here, if I call it a chapter, there's a day in here that talks about imposter syndrome. And I've had a lot of very neat conversations on the podcast, The Multifamily Collective, and in the collective conversations, neat conversations about imposter syndrome. So I'm going to try to practice the leaning into it and understanding that you did a lot of work to get here, and it's okay. And if something ends up being a little bit of a stumbling block, that is all part of the journey. So that is it. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon.